Hey guys, Brix back with another LEGO Transformer review, and today we're taking a look at another one of our Beast War creations. Let's take a look at LEGO Transformers Dinobot. Let's check it out. Okay, so here we have LEGO Transformers Beast Wars Dinobot, looking super dupe. You guys knew I was going to say that, didn't you? And he's like a Velociraptor type of guy, right? Got him decked out in the dark tan, looking pretty cool. It was a little difficult because I had to figure out how to. I wanted to get as close to the Kingdom figure as possible, but didn't have access to the video. They never made a review for the guy yet at the time when I designed him, so I had to use a lot of old G1 methods or B1 methods, and try to find a way to kind of like take some design liberties to update them. So let's go into some articulation for Dino mode. Can't really put his head up so much, but full range down, mostly due to transformation. The neck does go out a fair bit, so he could look a bit more down, and he could look up in that sense. So that's pretty cool. His little dino arms right here, just stud friction. That's his little elbow, and then I got a little zombie pose there, and then it also has, I guess, a butterfly joint, maybe. And also it could rotate on that 1x1 right there to move forward if you really needed to like reach out. But for the most part, just have him in his typical stance. His little hands, of course, are also on hinges and could rotate full 360 if need be. Not sure why that would be, but it could do that. Now for the dino legs, those are all ball jointed right there. So he could do the full splits, and you can see all of his underbelly of robot bits. For the feet, they are on these 1x1 rounds in brown. So it does have a crazy ankle tilt, which goes out also that far. Try to get in here kind of close, focused. The spin full 360, full range of motion with the little toes and the back toe as well. And everything can pretty much pivot on stud friction on their respective pieces. And same for the other leg on the other side. Got them all nice and grounded there. Tail, it does technically have articulation because it could kind of bend down a little bit. Kind of breaks up the sculpt, but it could bend down a little bit and rotate full 360 depending on like how you want the contour of the body to go. So yeah, it's pretty neat, pretty neat. So let's get into transformation. Let's zoom out some. And of course, the first thing, just like the toy, we're gonna rip off the tail, which is on just basically that stud connection right there. The next thing that we're going to do is lift up these panels right here. Kind of get the neck out the way. Try not to rip off these 1x2s at the same time. There you go. Just want to open that up, and then we see where the head is hiding right there. Let's get these little dino feet out the way. Right there. Let's take this panel, flip it up, And then we should be able to get our hands in there to flip the robot head up. Like so. That's a good amount, right? So from there, looks weird, it's like only like a half a body, but we're going to take the whole neck section and bend it down like that. And then we could close these up around the head. Now originally, I was going to make these little 1x2 panels right here some jumpers, so I could put like a white eyeball on the side to make the head look bigger as the just like the toy did. But then he would have like two weird looking eyes on his back, which would be weird. So we're not going to do that. But definitely feel free, if you like that idea, then you could run with it. I'm going to fold out the Dino arms right there. And let's get these legs going. We're going to basically take the whole waist and flip it 180. And there's not much more we need to do in regards to that. So now we're going to take the little ankles, pivot them, just make sure everything is nice and tight. Get those going. Nice and tight. And the legs are pretty much done already. So the next thing that we're going to do is come back here, fold up these little dino limbs. I like to just bring them in like that. I'll show you that on this side again. Just kind of bring them back like that. Make sure that's flipped all the way down, like so. And then it's just pretty much posing up the dino arms to where we're going to rotate these to the side and kind of like turn these into fist of sorts. Do the same on this side. And there you have Dinobot with these giant lobster hands. I don't know why they designed him to have like the regular dinosaur hands as like the hands, like the feet as the hands. Like it just looks, you know, kind of weird, but it's true to the source material. Now, my first version actually had, you know, regular hands to it, but then it looked kind of weird. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to go too far out, but another option that I kind of liked doing, which is not official, and we're not going to do that. I was going to try to turn the claws around to where they're kind of like just under the wrist, and he would just have these brown Travis Brix's hands, but So now we're going to take a look at the weapon, where we could open these up just like the actual toy. And what we're going to end up doing, honestly, is flipping these 180. And I will show you why in a minute. So once you got that going, I'll just take one side here and say flip it down. Take the other side and flip it up without breaking it, right? There you go. Sure everything's nice and tight. And that way it gives it a real slender, you know, look just like the actual toy. Then we're going to take the camera so we can focus, right? And then get right in here and get between the cone and the 1x1 stud. And that's what we want to be sticking out, you know, once we're done with this whole section right here. And then you have what will be the sword. So with the sword, you just plug that on right there. What I like to do with the thumb to kind of like help round off the hand a little bit is I'll just set them down a little bit so you guys could kind of see. I like to bring it down like that, so that way it looks like he's actually holding the sword. So I'm just taking the thumb, swinging it down, and cupping it under the hand like that. And for this side, you're pretty much just opening up his hands back in like Dino mode. And that anti-stud right there is where all of these kind of come into play. And it had to be that long just to be able to get in there the right way. And there you go. Now, surprisingly, Dinobot is probably one of the shortest, even though I know he's supposed to be one of the tallest. But just based on engineering, it had to be this way for it to kind of anatomically make sense. But scale-wise, I mean, he's still a deluxe, but he's, you know, one of the smaller deluxes. You kind of see him next to Bumblebee right here. So yeah, Dinobot is a teeny weeny guy. And I know this is going to look crazy to some of you guys. But here's Rat Trap. Roughly at least a plate or two taller than Dinobot. Now, of course, you know, I don't really design these things to be in scale with each other. You know, it's just more so, you know, I try to make sure that they're not too small, but not too big at the same time. And, you know, it's a huge gray area in between. So, as far as articulation, as what you can see here, everything is pretty much ball jointed. So, the legs could pretty much go out that far, split out that far, 90-degree bend at the knee. Being that I have these rounded 1x1s, it does kind of count as like a dual ankle rocker. See? Real dynamic posing. And I'm pretty sure the video is saving and it's going to make it skip. Gotta figure out a way to avoid that one day. For the arms, pretty much just ball jointed. You can see how those work. Full 360, all the way out and up. Elbow, pretty much a 90-degree bend. Wrist swivel, pretty much all the same articulation as he had in Dino feet. And then, you know, wrist articulation, all that good stuff. The head, as you know, is on a T-joint, so full 360 right there. And no real waist articulation. I mean, you kind of have like a reverse ab crunch due to transformation. Or, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could undo that whole, you know, the gimmick that I love to do so well. And it adds a little bit of height, but then it kind of breaks up the sculpt a little bit. So, I mean, you can also display him like this. But you could still hold this weight, but it just looks really empty down there. But, I mean, that's if you wanted to cheat and get some, like, waist articulation and stuff like that. Yeah. All very new pieces, as always. So yeah, Dinobot seems pretty cool. Check him out from the side. Not much of a backpack going on, as you should not. Get those feet down, planted a little bit more. And we already saw some size comparisons. Let's see. Just for fun, show them off next to Inferno. It's pretty cool. Who else do we still have in robot mode? There's a little sneak peek at Megs here. Let me move him to the side. Yeah, Megs dwarfs him. And Megs is surprisingly roughly around the same height as my Optimus Primal. I know Primal should probably be more his height, but you know, I wanted them to be around the same size. Let's see, I can put this guy over there. He'll stand just fine. Awesome. So this is BX Brix once again, thanking you guys for liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on social media. Dinobot will be on BrixMediaStudios.com shortly. I don't believe he's up there yet. Surprisingly, I thought I had a whole bunch of them uploaded. I have like a good chunk, you know, enough to keep you, you know, busy and stuff, but I still got a ton more to update and upload. So, well, it'll definitely be done by the time I post this video. I'm doing this the same day as I did Rhinox, trying to knock some out on my day off. But thank you guys once again, and I hope you guys are out there staying safe and creative. All right, see you guys next time. Peace.